Paul's Magical Wand Adventure. Once upon a time, in a peaceful and sunny town, there lived a brave and energetic boy named Paul. Paul was not like other boys. He had a heart full of courage and a spirit that never gave up. His best friend in the whole world was a kind and beautiful girl named Nina. They spent every day together, playing in the emerald green fields and dreaming of wonderful adventures. However, their peaceful lives were about to change forever when a dark shadow stretched across their world. One afternoon, while Paul and Nina were laughing near a sparkling stream, the sky suddenly turned as black as coal. Thunder roared like a hungry lion, and a cold wind began to howl. From a swirling purple cloud, the wicked great demon king appeared. He was a giant, scary figure with glowing red eyes and a voice that shook the ground. Before Paul could even blink, the demon king reached down with his long, sharp claws and snatched Nina away. "Help me, Paul!" Nina cried out, her voice fading as she disappeared into the dark clouds. Paul ran as fast as he could, reaching for her hand, but he was too late. The great demon king had taken her to the land of wonders, a mysterious place filled with strange magic and dangerous traps. Paul fell to his knees, feeling sad and helpless. But he wasn't alone for long. Suddenly, a tiny, glowing light flitted around his head. It was Pakun, a cheerful and magical fairy with floppy ears and a big smile. "Don't cry, Paul," Pakun squeaked. "I can help you save Nina. But the land of wonders is very far, and the great demon king is very strong. You will need something special to defeat him." Pakun flew over to Paul's toy chest and pulled out a simple-looking stick. With a sprinkle of fairy dust, the stick began to glow with a brilliant golden light. It had transformed into the magical wand. Pakun explained that this wand could freeze time, create bridges, and protect Paul from the demon king's dark spells. With the wand in his hand and Pakun by his side, Paul's journey began. Their first stop was the forest of giant mushrooms. The trees here were so tall they touched the clouds, and the ground was covered in bouncy, colorful fungi. As they walked, a group of grumpy stone monsters blocked their path. They were servants of the demon king, sent to stop anyone from rescuing Nina. "You shall not pass," the stone monsters rumbled. Paul didn't run away. He raised his magical wand high and shouted, "Time, stand still." A wave of blue light washed over the forest. The stone monsters froze mid-step, their angry faces stuck in place. Paul and Pakun quickly ran past them. As they traveled deeper into the land of wonders, they encountered a wide, rushing river made of liquid silver. There was no bridge in sight. "How will we get across?" Paul asked, worried. Pakun circled the wand. "Use the magic, Paul. Imagine a path." Paul closed his eyes and pointed the wand at the silver water. A beautiful bridge made of rainbows stretched across the river. They hurried across, feeling the cool mist on their faces. Every step took them closer to the great demon king's dark castle, which sat atop a jagged mountain of black glass. As they climbed the mountain, the air grew cold, and scary shadows danced along the walls. Finally, they reached the massive iron gates of the castle. Inside, they found Nina locked in a birdcage made of dark energy. The great demon king sat on his throne, laughing a deep, echoing laugh. "You are just a little boy," the demon king sneered. "You cannot defeat my dark magic." He waved his hand, and a swarm of shadow bats flew toward Paul. Pakun zipped around, distracting the bats, while Paul stood his ground. He knew he had to be brave for Nina. He remembered all the fun times they had shared and the promise he made to protect her. "I am not afraid of you," Paul shouted. He pointed the wand at the demon king and released all its golden energy. The room filled with a light so bright that the shadows began to melt away. The dark cage holding Nina shattered into 1,000 pieces of light. "Paul, you came for me," Nina cried, running into his arms. But the demon king was not finished. He grew even larger, filling the entire room. He prepared to fire a bolt of dark lightning. Paul and Pakun looked at each other. They knew they had to work together. Pakun flew onto the tip of the wand, adding his fairy magic to Paul's courage. Together now, Pakun yelled. A beam of pure, sparkling white light shot from the wand. It hit the great demon king right in the chest. With a loud, "No," the king vanished into a puff of purple smoke, leaving behind only a faint smell of burnt toast. The dark castle began to crumble, but Paul, Nina, and Pakun used the wand's magic to fly safely back to their own world. When they returned home, the sun was shining again, and the flowers seemed even brighter than before. The townspeople cheered for their young hero. Paul was no longer just a boy, he was a brave adventurer who had saved his best friend. Though the magical wand returned to being a simple wooden stick, Paul knew that as long as they had Pakun and each other, they would always be ready for the next adventure. Nina hugged Paul tightly, and they spent the rest of the day sharing stories under their favorite tree, knowing that light would always win over darkness.